Breaking news coming in of S Jaishankar there, speaking on the issue of India's neighbourhood policy, has spoken about having bad neighbours, saying that you can also have bad neighbours. Unfortunately, we do. When you have bad neighbours, if you look to the one to the west, if a country decides that it will deliberately, persistently and unrepentantly continue with terrorism, we have a right to defend our people against terrorism. We will exercise that right. How we exercise that right is up to us. Nobody can tell us what we should or should not be doing. Listen in.
Statement. In my entire career, which is quite long, I have never seen anything having a greater emotional impact on the rest of the world than giving vaccines. I've actually had people who tear up when they remember the first vaccine shipment. So, I mean, if you remember, look, COVID was a bad memory. We have put it all behind us. You try to actually get it out as much of your system as possible. But at that time, there were countries, there were developed countries, Western countries, some of them, who had stocked up 8 times the number of vaccines of their population. I mean, nobody is going to take 8 doses, okay? But there were countries, and big countries, who had 8 times the vaccine stock of their population, and next to them were small countries to whom they were not willing to give 10,000 doses.
Well, Aditya Rajkol joining us. Aditya, of course, S Jaishankar there talking about nobody can tell us what we should or should not be doing. We will do whatever it takes to defend our people, to defend India, and really putting out that very strong messaging when it comes to terrorism and calling our neighbour a bad one at that.
Well, certainly, Divya, it's a stern warning coming in from India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S Jaishankar. He was speaking in Chennai, where he was asked about the neighbours, about terrorism. And he said, yes, India can have bad neighbours as well, as has been the experience over the last many decades. For more than 3 decades, Pakistan's unrelenting sponsored terrorism as a state policy against India has played havoc against the civilians in the country, be it the recent Delhi Red Fort bomb blast, or before that the Pahalgam terror attack, and even before that Pulwama, Uri, Dinanagar and Pathankot, several such major terror attacks by Pakistani terror groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba. And now Dr. Jaishankar saying that India will do whatever it takes and India will certainly not look the other way. It's a stern warning coming against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. He did not name Pakistan, but he did say India's western neighbour can really believe in that. And when it comes to the Indus water sharing, certainly, when there is no good neighborliness, when there is no positive reciprocation that happens from Pakistan, then certainly India will have to, take steps against the Indus Water Treaty as well. You can't tell us that we want water but we will continue terrorism against your people. That has continued in Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of India over the last many decades. So it's a very strong message coming from India's External Affairs Minister early 2026 against Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, because earlier, just about 7 to 8 months ago, during the Operation Sindoor, immediately after Pahalgam terror attack, India did put out a strong message when India targeted 9 terror camps and headquarters from Muridke to Bawalpur, and then command control centers and air bases as well. So a stern warning early 2026 against Pakistan-sponsored terror. Certainly we'll have to see how Pakistan reacts.
Right, you can't say please share water with me, but I will continue terrorism with you, and that is not reconcilable. That is the message that our foreign minister has given out, without naming Pakistan, like you said, of course, Aditya, but of course saying that anyone can have bad neighbours. We do for sure is what this is the foreign minister saying. We will exercise our rights, and nobody can really tell us what to do and how we should do about it. And we agreed to a water sharing arrangement, but if you had decades of terrorism, there is no good neighborliness, and if there is no good neighborliness, you do not get the benefits of that good neighbor.
Can also have bad neighbors. Unfortunately, we do. Now, when you have bad neighbors, and if you look to the one to the west, if a country decides that they will deliberately, persistently, unrepentantly continue with terrorism, we have a right to defend our people against terrorism. We will exercise that right. How we exercise that right is up to us. You know, nobody can tell us what we should do or not. We will do whatever we have to do to defend ourselves. It's a common sense proposition. Now, again, as I said, a lot of it is goodwill. You know, many years ago, we agreed to a water arrangement, water sharing arrangement, because the belief, the underpinning of that was, it was a gesture of goodwill, because for good neighborliness we were doing it. But if you had decades of terrorism, there is no good neighborliness.